Now, in the lead up to the 2024 US federal election, it seems as if both the DNC and the GOP are at a bit of a crossroads in proverbially pre-selecting their presidential candidates. It is looking increasingly likely that Donald Trump will be selected to lead next year's Republican ticket, and support for the Donald only continues to consolidate, while support for competitor Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, falters. And of course, we have the new kid on the block, Vivek Ramaswamy, who has now, just in at least one poll, usurped Ron DeSantis for, the unofficial second place. George, Trump's base are unbelievably loyal in the face of everything that's being thrown at him, aren't they? I mean, all of these bogus legal hurdles that are being chucked at him, and he's still far and away the front runner in the presidential race. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I think it's a lay-down misere for Donald Trump in the Republican primaries. And in fact, every time the Democrats and their and all of their appointees within the legal fraternity throw things at Donald Trump, then it just only increases his likability amongst the Republican base. And I've seen this myself with friends who are American and are conservative. They really weren't pro-Trump. And as soon as there started to be these bogus legal attacks on Donald Trump, which is just inherently political, and it's so wrong to turn the justice system into some sort of political weapon. But the people see through that. And my friend who was anti-Trump suddenly turns up with a MAGA hat on after all this happens. So I can see exactly what it's doing, and it is going to ensure that Donald Trump reclaims the White House, and that will be a good thing for all of the world.
Oh, gosh, I really hope you're right. You know me, I'm a long-time Trump supporter. Of course, the man's made mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes. But do you think it is possible for him to reclaim the White House? There was such a massive cabal of forces working against him in the 2020 election. And in fact, I'm sure you remember an article in Time magazine that came through in 2021, which bragged, this is Time magazine, very mainstream, bragged about the well-funded cabal, as they put it, of business leaders and politicians and information mongers who are working amongst themselves to change rules and laws, as they put it, control the flow of information. And the infamous part of this article, George, as I'm sure you remember, was they said, we weren't rigging the election, we were fortifying it. I mean, that is... everyone was mind blown when that article came out, but that was the kind of force that Donald Trump was up against, and there's no doubt they will throw the same thing at him again. Do you think it's possible, if this time round he's actually able to overcome that? Is he popular enough? Does he have that support?
I think there's a number of things out of what you've just said. One, nothing's going to save Joe Biden. And the Democrats, for whatever reason, are just completely and utterly stuck with him. They're not going to shift from Joe Biden. And the American people have just switched off. They're embarrassed about Joe Biden. They think Joe Biden is too old for the job. They think that there are issues to do with potential corruption involving Joe Biden, and I know Donald Trump's been talking about that lately. So that's one thing, that Sleepy Joe is just not going to get re-elected again, regardless of whatever they throw at him. The second thing is clear that Trump will be the Republican nominee, as far as I can see. Failing some calamity or catastrophe, he will be the Republican nominee. So if it's a Joe versus Donald fight, then Joe will go down, as he will all the time. So they're two things that stand out for me. But I think that the Trump brigades, and certainly the Donald Trump and his people, have seen what's happened at the last election, have seen what's happened during the midterms, and they know the strategy that they've got to pull off to defeat the cheat. I don't think that there is going to be enough cheating that they're going to be able to do to withstand just the turn-off. The Democrat base has just turned off Joe Biden, so they're not going to be able to get out as many people as what they did before. And quite frankly, the country there is just heading in the wrong direction, and even the Democrat base can see that. So that is also going to work against the Democrats and against Joe Biden.